الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أولم ير الذين كفروا أن السماوات كانتا رتقا ففتقناهما وجعلنا من الماء كل شيء حي أفلا يؤمنون. وجعلنا في الأرض رواسي أن تميد بهم وجعلنا فيها فجاجا سبلا لعلهم يهتدون. وجعلنا السماء سقفا محفوظا وجعلنا السماء سقفا محفوظا وهم عن آياتها معرضون. هو الذي خلق الليل والنهار والشمس والقمر كل في يسبحون. وما جعلنا لبشر من قبلك الخلد أفإن مت فهم الخالدون. كل نفس ذائقة الموت ونبلوكم بالشر والخير فتنة وإلينا ترجعون. وإذا رآك الذين كفروا إن يتخذونك إلا هزوا أهذا الذي يذكر آلهتكم بل هم عن ذكر ربهم معرضون. هم عن ذكر ربهم معرضون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إذا رآك الذين كفروا إن يتخذونك إلا هزوا أهذا الذي يذكر آلهتكم بل هم عن ذكر ربهم معرضون بل هم عن ذكر الرحمن هم كافرون خلق الإنسان من عجل سأريكم آياتي فلا تستعجلون ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين لو يعلم الذين كفروا حين لا يكفون وجوههم النار ولا عن ظهورهم ولا هم ينظرون بل تأتيهم بغتة فتبهتهم فلا يستطيعون ردها ولا هم ينظرون ولا استهزئ برسل من قبلك فحاق بالذين سخروا منهم ما كانوا به يستهزئون قل من يكلؤكم بالليل والنهار من الرحمن بل هم عن ذكر ربهم معرضون أم لهم آلهة تمنعهم من دوننا فلا يستطيعون ردها ولا هم منا يصحبون فلا يستطيعون نصر أنفسهم ولا هم منا يصحبون الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نحمد ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. The next chapter that we are getting into talks about the rights of one's neighbors. The rights of one's neighbors. And the first hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, the first hadith that is brought is narrated by Ibn Umar and Aisha radiallahu anhuma. They both say the Prophet ﷺ said, ما زال جبريل يوصيني بالجار حتى ظننت أنه سيورثه. The Prophet ﷺ said that Jibreel alayhi salam, ما زال جبريل يوصيني. Jibreel alayhi salam constantly gave me advice. Okay? And we know what we've gone over. Means strong advice, firm advice. He constantly advised me about the neighbor حتى ظننت أنه سيورثه until I started to believe that he will donate a share in inheritance for one's neighbor. Okay? Until he thought that Jibreel alayhi salam would designate a portion of a dying person's inheritance for one's neighbor. Now, this includes Muslim neighbor or a non-Muslim neighbor. Alright? The Prophet ﷺ, not only, this is just one hadith of the Prophet ﷺ encouraging the rights of one's. In another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, Wallahi la yu'min, Wallahi la yu'min, Wallahi la yu'min. The Prophet ﷺ repeated this 3 times. I swear to Allah, that person has not attained faith. That person has not attained faith. That person has not attained faith. Ya Rasulullah, manhum? Who is that person who hasn't attained faith? The Prophet ﷺ said, الَّذِي لَا يَأْمَنُ جَارُهُ بَوَائِقَهُ. A person whose neighbor does not feel safe from one's evil. A person who does not safeguard, who does not extend the sense of safety and security to their neighbor. So if a neighbor feels threatened by you, if a neighbor feels uneasy of your actions, okay? We're not talking about ignorant neighbors who are just, Muslim haters, okay? The question is, what have we done to dispel that? All right? So, the Prophet ﷺ has encouraged us to be mindful of our neighbors and to fulfill the rights of our neighbors. Do you know who was the neighbor of the Prophet ﷺ? Lahab was the neighbor of the Prophet ﷺ. And by far, the top tier when it is staunch enemies of the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Jahl and his wife Jamil were right up there, right? If they didn't take gold, then they took silver and bronze, all right, in opposing the Prophet ﷺ. So, neighbors have a right upon us, they have a right of our kindness, a right of our compassion, and that all starts off with the right of them at least knowing us. Many people go by years and years in their house and they don't even know who their neighbors are, even to the right, left, or in the front. They may see, they may wave, live in a house that has the driveway in the back, which is new to me, in everywhere else in my life, in Louisiana, Florida, everyone's driveway was in front of the house. It was in front of the house. So if someone's doing something in the garage, at least you get that much interaction. But in the back, you don't know who's leaving when, and that's the unfortunate case. But have we ever been to our neighbors to introduce ourselves, to a little something sweet or something to eat, at least to get to know them? Not only do we understand the spiritual benefits at Prophet ﷺ's encouragement to fulfill their right, but also the physical benefit, the emotional benefit, fear, getting to know who your neighbors are, and to allow your neighbors to get to know who you are. And not only just breaking the ice and getting to know them, but it is also a form of da'wah as well, especially since majority of us don't live in we don't live next to Epic, or we don't live next to Irving, right? All your neighbors may be Muslim. Especially in the setup, it's very important to introduce ourselves, and if you feel comfortable enough, point where you have your over, but at least make sure that your neighbor is not inconvenienced by your actions. What does that mean? Well, give me an example of how a person can inconvenience their neighbor. Parking, okay? So, you park in front of your house, you park in your driveway, try to make the front of your car standing in front of their house, especially if they need it, blocking their mailbox. Well, give me another example. I'll fulfill the rights 100%. Loud noises, okay? Screaming from outside the house, screaming from inside to the house. What's another example? Food. Smell, okay? Well, we're going to talk about the food tomorrow with the Prophet ﷺ's encouragement. So all the neighbors get together and have What about, how many of us are mow our own lawn? Okay, so if you start your lawnmower right before the sun comes out because it's nice and cool, do you think that would inconvenience our neighbor? What about having an unkept? It is the right, okay? It is the right of our neighbor that they inconvenience, feel disgusted when they see their neighbor's house having their grass tall, the weeds. So taking care of your lawn is also very important. Why? Because many people care about all of that, right? It's very important. It's not just important for the rights of our neighbor, but that's how we live. Everything that a Muslim has, uses, owns, should be neat, tidy, clean, maintained, and well kept. All right? So these are just a few examples, okay, of what we can do, what we should not do. And as community members affiliated with the masjid, we have to extend that courtesy to who we call neighbors here at the masjid. Who do we call neighbors over here? Who are our neighbors here? Remax, the Home Depot. Okay? So, now, alhamdulillah, all of us, none of us over here, none of us, not a single one of us over here have ever inconvenienced our neighbors. Right? We are all the early bird. But Ramadan is coming around, okay? And unfortunately, many of our neighbors get upset with us. And it happens every Friday in the afternoon. This goes against everything that the Prophet ﷺ has taught us about, instructed us about the rights of the neighbor. Brothers and sisters, the fact that our neighbors, well, at least one of them, okay, we understand why they don't allow us to park, okay? Was it allowed once upon a time? Okay, never, it was never, right? So they probably foresaw something coming, right? So we're not Sunday goers. We come to the masjid multiple times a day. So imagine what would happen with our community. What type of calamity would come on the community? Home Depot said, we want y'all out. Okay? The unfortunate case of the situation is, and this is the fact of the matter, that some people get nasty with the employees at Home Depot or with the employees of our neighboring businesses around here. We feel like we are entitled to park because we are coming here to display and carry out our tawheed. We are coming here for ibadah. So we feel that we have the right to butt heads with someone who is already doing a favor on us. Yeah, that's another thing. You know, that's the can of worms. How we treat, and you think that, oh, this is just cliche. Ask volunteers. Where's Ghafar Bhai? Are you here tonight? If you want testimony to what he has heard and what he goes through, is it still on a weekly basis? It's still on a weekly basis. Again, I'm not saying it's from anyone over here, okay? But when we see something, when we see someone being rude, don't just walk by as if you didn't hear anything. Get involved. Tell someone, brother, stop being stupid. Confront them. Make them feel ashamed of themselves, because they should feel ashamed of themselves. You know, for someone who is volunteering, forfeiting their Jumu'ah, right? Waiting till the next Jumu'ah, especially the mess in Ramadan. You know, so I'm not saying that we shouldn't get in any of our volunteers' faces, because we don't. But if we see someone doing, then we should intervene and make sure they don't do it next time. Do you agree with me? Right? Because it takes, look, sometimes you gotta be a wolf, eat a wolf. Okay? Sometimes when someone's being ignorant, civil way doesn't work. And you can tell who's being ignorant versus who's, who you can tell who you civil with and who you can't be civil with. Okay? So whenever we see something like this, step in and give a hand. And, keep in mind our neighbors here, our neighbors at home. If we don't know our neighbors, get to know our neighbors. Allow our neighbors to get to know us, who we are. Believe you me, many people who hate Muslims, majority of the time is because they have never braked ice with another. The only thing they know about Muslim is from a TV screen, okay? Other kind of screen. So let's get to know our neighbors, extend courtesy to our neighbors, and keep in mind that we're only fulfilling our religious duty and doing amal on the words of the Prophet. Subhanallah wa bihamdik, subhanallah wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. This Friday before Maghrib dinner, after Maghrib, we will have the Allen Police Department giving us a presentation on active shooter reaction and training. Jazakallah khair.